Hey, Tusa Detail here. Detailing After Dark. This series is an important one. It is talking about chemical dilution ratios, and then protecting vehicles and your business. So this is a pretty in-depth one. I'll try to do 20 minutes, but it's a lot. The information about understanding what alkaline and acidity is, understanding the types of materials in cars as well as the exterior of cars. Um, and then just kind of going a little bit further deep details into the chemicals. Why is stronger not always the better one? Dilutions. Why is it better to have concentrated over ready to use chemicals, and vice versa? Kind of the different aspects of why some ready to use chemicals are good. Um, but let's slide into it. First and foremost, we have to understand 150. Yeah, it looks like we have to understand what acidity and alkaline is. Acidity, the best way I explain it to people, acidity attacks materials, meaning it burns them, it punches at them, it destroys them. Alkaline, it actually pulls away all the dirt debris, it dries it out. It's almost like a soul reaper, the what is it called? The Dementors from Harry Potter. They take out everything and end up causing it to crack and become brittle and die. Uh, so just very two different things that cause the same, if not worse, destruction on different ends of the spectrum. Um, and this is where is it? Right there. And yeah, so it's just the pH scale, and then method to determine alkaline. Oh, that's just like all the very detailed stuff. Uh, and this is very important because when you're dealing with the different types of materials like leather, pleather, uh, and vinyl, carpets, headboards, stuff like that. Some are glued, some are just flattened on the, just kind of put in place with other fixtures over top of them. Other things are uh, just become thinner fabrics like the polyester, stuff like that. So if you use too high of an acidic, too low of a alkaline, you can end up burning it. Or sorry, I think it's vice versa, the other way around. Yeah, lower numbers for the acidic. The lower the number, you can end up burning, meaning destroying the fabric overall, meaning it eats away at it. Or it's the alkaline to where you could end up stripping out like a patch of carpet because the alkaline is so high, it actually ripped out the glue, it ripped out anything that was holding it together per se, and that becomes irreversible. Stuff like that, you know. And then on top of it, the next one is why stronger chemicals not better. Just because it's a stronger chemical, it will also be it'll be stronger on the damage too. So it'll affect the plastic coatings. There's the plastic on the interior actually has a clear coating over it. So where then once that clear coating's off, then it goes and starts to destroy the color, and then it just goes further in, and everything's just a disaster. Um, highly acidic below pH 3 or high alkaline above 11. These strip away essential protective layers like wax, sealants, and ceramic coatings. This leaves underlaying paintwork vulnerable to contaminants and UV radiation, oxidation, pretty much. You could end up causing a car to have paint failure way before it should even have been a conversation, you know. And then once it actually gets into the paint's clear coat, you can actually cause etching or discoloration or fogging on glass surfaces. It'll actually burn if you use too strong of a chemical. You can actually burn your windows on the car. I tell people to stay away from ammonia and bleach. Obviously, bleach you shouldn't be using anyways, but ammonia, that stuff is premature fading, dullness, killer. Um, High pH degreasers can dry out and crack these materials. I've seen it firsthand. Seen somebody using what was it? It was like Purple Power. Uh, Barely diluted it. It's like one of one, pretty much not even diluted. Sprayed it, scrubbed, and by the time they were like drying, wiping down the leather, it just lost all. It just like was faded, just like milky faded, and then it just split. the part that was like already kind of like butt seat marked, and they just split right there. Because what it did is it dried, just like skin without lotion. You go out in like freezing temperatures, you just feel that skin getting tighter, tighter, and then the whatever point is of failure, it's just gonna pop right from there. You should be using neutral cleaners, specific detailing products for leather, specific products for vinyl. And I do. I have a leather cleaner, conditioner, and then I have one I use strictly on all vinyl. And guess how often I have to think about, am I going to damage this car's vinyl or leather? Zero. Other people might be like, hey, that seems like a lot of BS. Don't really care. And I say, hey, I respect you, but I'm not going to follow your choices here. You might have got lucky for years or whatever, not really following um, SOP, but that doesn't mean you're right. Just because you haven't damaged somebody's car or they haven't come back to try you to say that you damaged their car. So it's kind of like, why not do it and just do it right the first time? Why some chemicals work at lower ratios. This is where I only buy concentrated because I do the dilution in house. I have a measuring cup that I put the solution in first, fill up with water, and then I fill up the containers the rest of the way with distilled water. Why? Because I only have 1 gallon of my chemicals. And then when they get to half gallon, I order another one because it gets here within a week. And I run a pretty good detail shop, but it's not high velocity where I'm doing like, 40 cars a week or something like that, like other places. Um, so I just don't need to have it. Where these wheel cleaners, I'll usually have 2 to 4 gallons. I usually just buy a 5 gallon for the wheel cleaners because of the solvents, but it is what it is. On top of that, they got no rinse formulas, stuff like that, power suffocants, dilution ratios at 256 to 1. Basically what that is, like the cap, you fill the cap of that concentrate, pour it in a 1 gallon, and then you fill the rest with water, and then that is actually its rate of success. Like the dilution ratio on some of these concentrates are just insane. So I highly suggest you start looking at getting high concentration actives, high concentration formulas, and kind of get as far away as you can from the ready to use, except for like ready to use uh, leather conditioner to recondition the leather, recondition the vinyl, pleather, stuff like that. Those are fine. Uh, and plus, the formula is already done, so it's something where it's like the less you have to worry about if your dilution is correct. Is in those cases, I feel is a lot safer of an option. Uh, on top of that, yeah, I use horse brushes, so leather cleaner brushes. Don't use drill brushes. Don't. Like that is crazy. They say it's for soft leather, but you have an associate, or if yourself, you have uh, a sleight of hand, let's say, on that drill brush, and that plastic hits the leather. You've now just cut the leather with that plastic. So just take the 5 minutes a seat and just get it done the right way. So that's all I gotta say about it. Like I won't listen to somebody tell me that they use the drill happening. When somebody tells me I use a drill brush, I'm like, hat off to you. I don't want to know what the cost for fixing a Ford King Ranch F1 F250 dually. Not happening. Actually, I wonder if there's maybe it's Ford F250 dually diesel. I think they make them. Super Duty, that's what it is. Sorry, messed up. It might. Yeah, they do. Okay, so I was right. I just want to make sure I'm not feeding you bull crap because I don't like people lying to me. So I try to do my damnedest to not lie to others. So just stuff like that to where you just don't want to be in the situation. Um, this is the this is the most crucial. Chemical Guys has a dilution chart. I recommend printing it out. I just printed it out. Um, Here it is. And almost going out like the ghost. So there's that, and it's perfect. And then I just get a pour cup. So depending on if you're doing them in 5-gallon jugs and stuff like that, also buy a funnel. If you're doing 5-gallon jugs, buy a funnel. Um, and then make it to where the funnel actually goes all the way down. So that way, when you're filling it up, you're not causing bubbles. Key note takeaway there. So there's a little bit secret sauce, and it's perfect. So you got the 1 gallon, 1 gallon, 5-gallon, 32-gallon. I would stay away from the 32 and the 16. I would stay away from. Don't waste your time having to refill those all the time, unless you're doing chemical production, uh, like selling these as far as like you're selling your own brand. But if you're like in-house, you're traveling. So like if you're a mobile detailer, I would get 1 gallons and then do these formula ratios here. 5 gallons if you have a warehouse at minimum. Obviously with these, you just have to multiply it by, so if this is 5 gallons and you got a 20-gallon tank, obviously times it by 4. So 1-to-1 ratio. So if you have 5-gallon tub come in of the chemical, then you do 5 gallons to 5 gallons. So in this case, it'd be 20 gallons to 20 gallons. So then you have, so if you wanted 20 gallons, you'd get 2 5-gallon chemicals, vice versa. Dilution down, you just need 1 5-gallon, and then you can do 15 gallons, stuff like that. So it's always 1 part chemical and then whatever amount that you need to dilute it on the other side. So 1 of 1 pretty much is 1 chemical, 1 thing of water. So in this case, 5 gallons of chemical, you need 5 gallons of water. Now, this is where it starts to get a little fuzzy for some people, but then if you want a 1-to-2 mix, you need 1 5-gallon of chemical, and then you need 2 5 gallons of water. So then now you have 15, and it just keeps going up from there. So that's how you read this dilution chart is the left side is how much water you need versus how much of the chemical you need on the right. So hopefully that helps. This is a little bit more deeper into the leather interior surfaces. Have chemical limits, you can easily strip, if not damage, because leather's organic, it's cow or horse hide or whatever hide they take it from. I heard Porsche was doing like camel. Could be wrong. It was weird. Didn't even think about camels. But then, using a very heavy, harsh chemical, stripping protective coatings. Yes, you're removing the oils and the dirt and the grime from the leather, but then you don't want to get too heavy because you're going to kill the urethane coating. Once you strip that leaves it super vulnerable to damage that you need to get that fixed or you need to soak it. I think urethane, can you check that out. Can you repair urethane in leather seats if you've taken it out? I wonder if it's it. Damage. Yeah, pretty much it's like you're just gonna have to do so much work, prepare the area thoroughly clean with the degreaser, like leather cleaning spirit. So specific products, you need fine grit sandpaper. Then you need flexible filler compound, rub and restore similar, dry and resand, let the filler dry completely, then sand until completely smooth. Color match, then a leather sealer to then fix it. So do it right the first time with the right chemical. I mean, that's my heart and soul with people every time they get into detailing or a auto enthusiast. Understand the product that you're buying. Understand the car that you have. So you don't take the extra 5 minutes studying something before you spend 5 minutes and you make something irreversible there. That's my biggest thing on interior surfaces and leather is once you damage a piece of somebody's car or your own car, forever damage until you replace the part. It is what it is. Improper dilution can permanently damage your interiors. You dilute too much, it's not actually cleaning properly because it's too watered down. You don't water it enough, it's now too hot. Either too acidic or it's gonna be too alkaline. And then you're burning something or you're stripping something or you're cracking something or you're breaking something. So chemical burns, residue. It's like when you see those little watermarks on the backs of pleather leather seats. That's because that's now burned that area clean and everything around it is dirty. It's not dirty per se, but it has dirt marks because it's now burned those lines there. Discoloring and staining, you can permanently damage carpet if the chemical's too hot. Again, too low on the acidic level, high on the alkaline. You end up stripping the color from the fabric, stripping the color from the vinyl, plastic, and leather. Stripping those protective coatings to where now you've done something irreversible. So that's why dilution is crucial. You have to understand math here. If you don't know math, you better find a friend that's willing to dilute your product for you or whatever. Because this is the make or break for your business. Is you damage somebody's car, trust me, all the people that person knows they love their car are going to know when somebody has damaged their car. And on top of that, those friends are going to be like, well, if that person messed up their car and that friend of mine loves their car, they talk about it all the time, they take care of it all the time, they baby it, I'm not going to that detail shop. I don't want to be around or associated with that detail shop. You think a bad review is bad? Wait till you have a customer that treats their car like their child and you break it. You're in a world of shit, world of hurt. So yeah, hopefully I don't like to scare people, but it's I just don't want to see somebody in my Facebook chat like, what do I do? I was like, gotta pay for that. I've done it a couple of times. Some people, uh what is it, brake cleaner on somebody's car. Ugh, just gross. And then the difference between effective cleaning and destructive cleaning. This is I preach about this. Effective cleaning, correct tools, correct material, correct solutions, correct behavior, correct movements. If, and I say this funny, but if your rag, your yellow rag, white rag, or whatever is darker than my skin color after you've been using it, you shouldn't be using it on a new part of the car. This skin tone is a good indicator of you need to get a new rag. If your rag is darker than me, it's too damn dirty. So you need to get a new rag. Tools. If your brush or drill brush, again, if it's as dark as me, you need to fucking clean it or get a new one. Like there's just no reason to be this color as a tool to be touching somebody's car because all you're doing is re-rubbing dirt back on it. It's like bathing yourself in mud and then you're like, hey, at least the rocks in this mud are scraping this other dirt off as I'm putting dirt back on my face. It doesn't make sense. Using the correct soft non-abrasive tools. Don't use scoring pads. Don't use any of those scrubbing pads. I see it all the time. Like, hey, it doesn't damage. This one says it doesn't score. No. Use use a brush. Use a boar bristle brush, use a nylon brush. Get in all the nicks and crannies. Do it effectively. No. Like I just don't understand why people love taking chances because they want to just scrape the hell out of somebody's car, or just remove 1,000% of the dirt and debris. Like, hat off to you. Get a steamer. Go to town. Don't be doing that. But whatever people want to do at the end of the day. Destructive cleaning, abrasive materials, paper towels, steel wool, kitchen scoring pads. Yeah, see, sandpaper. They all create micro scratches. If not, they're just clawing into whatever the fabric or material is, and then it's now compromised. It now has the scars it was never supposed to have and stuff like that. Um, Excessive force with the pressure washer, if not tools. Um, Automatic car washes. I'm gonna do a video in the summer about properly going to automatic car washes. You can do it, but if you want to get your car effectively washed, it's like buy the bucket at Lowe's Home Depot, buy a good degreaser soap, and then you can buy like a whole lid that closes, and then buy the wash mitt. All in all, maybe $30 to $50, and then you have enough chemical for however many times you want to keep your car like at that level of cleanliness. And then oh yeah, even maybe I'll say 40 to 60, and then you'll have your car at tip top shape all summer long as a auto enthusiast for your exterior. Yeah, yeah. So I'll be doing something like that in the summer. I'm pretty excited for that. Pretty dope. Yeah. Yep. And this would be for auto enthusiasts. I'd love to take them through it and just kind of like have them all about it. So yeah, because going through automatic car washes, do not go through one with brushes. I'm like, because I even scare some of my clients. I'm like, you ever walk behind somebody and then, you know, they farted or they coughed? Do you continue walking behind them? They're like, no, because that's just gross. That is how I look at the washer brushes at at a car wash. Because if I see a muddy truck in front of me, all that mud is still just circulating through. Guess who's next? Me. And no, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm not going through it. So I always tell my clients, laser wash. Only car wash you can do is a laser wash. Everything else out the window. Nah. Because I want to protect my clients and their cars. Like, I want to preserve their cars. Preservation is what detailing is all about. I'm preserving your car from failing material wise. So you're trying to sell it, or you get in a God forbid car crash, or keep it till the wheels fall off. But at least you have a upstanding, physically fit car all the way through. That is my thing. Is there's a workout enthusiast that'll keep your body looking great. Uh, I'm a auto detail coach. I will keep your car physically fit until you get rid of it, or it just falls off because you driven it 300,000 miles. Um, Product choice matters. Obviously anybody can get pretty much any detailing chemical they need or want or desire, or they just happen to stumble upon. But you have to understand surface compatibility. Do not use a leather cleaner on plastic. Those are two different materials that will not be cleaned at the same rate. Just the same, you're not going to use a plastic cleaner on glass. You're not going to use a paint cleaner on leather, vice versa. So you just have to have that mindset of, this is my leather cleaner, glass cleaner, blah, blah, going down the line. You know what I'm saying? Effectiveness and efficiency, high quality. Some product is super expensive and it's not great. Some product is super inexpensive and it works great. Find what makes you tick. What brand for your company are you going to uphold to provide outstanding service for your clients? Um, yeah, it talks about damage, residue, leaving too little dilution, too strong can harm service, leave streaks, or waste the product. If you or doing poor dilution, meaning you're doing like one of one. You're only buying 1 gallon. You only have 2 gallons. Yeah, sure, you might twice as long, but you buy another solution mix that is a 1 to 10, and it's maybe only $10 more than the other product. You can multiply your product by 10 rather than you just multiplied it by one, and you just spent 10 more dollars. So always kind of like do the math as far as like the business sense. But also make sure it's a good quality chemical as well. So don't be just willy-nilly out there, you know. Um, Ignoring ratios is a waste of product, over dilution, or using too much to concentrate. So you can either do the glug glug method, and what that is it's so diluted you're just having to burn through your product to get surfaces clean, or you are creating a Judge Dredd situation with chemical, meaning it's too strong, it's too overbearing, and you're damaging the car. Both sides are effectively just a waste of your time, even though one will be costly for repairing the customer's inconsistent results. You're inconsistent. One car that has like a Porsche 911 driver is not eating cookies in there. They're not eating muffins. They're not eating Subway sandwiches. You know, like Martin Lawrence and Mike Larry. You know, Mike Larry's like, don't you dare eat that hot dog in my car. They will slap the shit out of you. Yeah. A weak solution is going to be fine because the dirtiest thing on their hands is probably hand sanitizer or a pen. Like they're doing like crazy work. You know, I met a gentleman that drives an Audi RS6. He's an executive. Brother ain't getting under a truck. So it is what it is. And those are the things that you just have to kind of think about. So it's like then you have another like Dodge Caravan. Those are workhorses. That's a family vehicle. So you know that thing it needs the right chemical for the right job. So just always have that in mind, is that you want to find a solution, I mean a chemical solution that will be able to handle the Audi RS6 and the Dodge Caravan. That way you have that consistency. That way you have especially me, I do videos of all the cars well, not all, majority of the cars I do, to show people that I can not only do a work van or a work truck or a mom and dad car or van, or an executive vehicle, or a just like top of the line summer vehicle, uh, only. You know, I do every which way, but my results every time are just hit, 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 because my ratio for my solutions on point, chemicals I buy on point, and then my behavior for each of those chemicals for the cars are on point. Efficiency, effective, it's efficient, it's inconsistent labor or inefficient labor. It says, oh, right here, inefficient labor. Your employees are spending so much more time with crappy solutions. You're burning through cash. Increased storage and disposal. You know, concentrates require less storage. I have one concentrate that is a 1 to 1. It's like, I think it's 200. It's like 1 to 200 ratio. So like one of that, I can effectively use at 200. So 199 gallons of water to 1 gallon of that I can do for a solution tank. That is invaluable of my time and money, because then I can just I always have one uh solution tank, and then I'll have an extra of the solution. That way when I'm running out, I'm not tripping over myself to order another one. I can effectively safely order again and not be sweating when my solution's coming. So concentrate is really effective, time saver, space saver, and not a time waster. So those just very, very insane when you start getting into the concentrates. So I applaud you. Get concentrates. Why professionals follow chemistry and not the guesswork. when I hear a detailer saying how much, what's the ratio for a chemical? Why should I do this? Why should I not do that? It that scares me because you're detailing somebody's car and you don't know what you're doing per se. Like you understand keeping it clean, removing all the waste, removing all the materials. But when you don't understand ratios, I'm scared that you're using chemicals too harsh or too diluted, meaning you are stripping the material of all of its protectants and uh, coverings, or you just didn't even clean the thing, charge somebody. So you want to be consistent with this. So you have to understand chemistry. So you have consistent results, is predictable, safe results, as it said, material compatibility. If you understand pleather, leather, vinyl, um, uh, felt over plush, stuff like that, it'll go a long way. It sounds super dumb to have to study car parts, but the way that they're building cars, it will kill your bottom dollar if you don't know what you're dealing with. And then health and safety. When these chemicals are having an active reaction or having a reaction to a part of the car, you don't want to have a associate pass out, uh, get hurt, slam their face against the shifter because they passed out from something. And you have a medical situation on your hands. So, and then it's efficiency and cost effective. Highly concentrated bulk products, you're able to dilute them on site relatively fast. You know, uh, I do distilled water for all my chemicals. That way, I don't have calcium. I have the least amount of like calcium fluoride, any of those contaminants in the water. I now don't have them in my cleaners. So that's just the high quality work. So I applaud you to do that. Now this is kind of getting towards the end. Um, from a client standpoint, everything that I told you, it's vehicle preservation. Don't say investment. Don't say this is to protect your. Yeah, don't say anything about car investments and blah blah blah. Anything on that level. I just go for vehicle preservation. Hey, I'm an auto detailer. I care about preserving somebody's car from aesthetics, from a person that's driving like a Mercedes or Cadillac that want to keep it preserved, make it look nice for a long time to come. Then it's like the workhorses. Hey, I'm here to extend your car's life, preservation for long term damage, maintain the resale value. When you're able to talk to the customer as a protection for them, then that's speaking from a different line of I'll just detail your car and take your money, and then you can go and I'll see you again in 2 to 6 months. I talk as a problem solver. If you're not a problem solver, what are you at the end of the day? Because we're a service business. So as a service business, I look at people's cars as if it's their house. Meaning, what do they need from me to ensure this vehicle continues on for years to come? And that they can rely on me to make sure their car stays on point, just like a contractor. I mean, how many of you have a contractor off rip to call to get something fixed? There's only like a handful. There's always like just 2 to 4, 2 to 5 contractors anybody knows, to where when you have that person on dial, you're not calling anybody else. There's no one else that matters. It's like a water heater went out. I'm calling Rick. Like you're not like, oh, gotta look up, see who's gonna help. No, be that detailer that is like, you need to talk to my boy Norm. He knows vehicles. Tell him what your year, make, and model is. Send him a photo of the car. He will give you a list of upkeep, what you need to do, what he needs to do if you want to keep this car for 2 to 5 years on a lease. He wants to know that. Is it on a lease? Buy it outright? Anything. The more information you give him about what you're trying to do with your car is the more that he'll make sure he does for you to keep that car going. Um, that's just my mindset. So, you know, and then when you're cleaning correctly, you're improving the air quality of the car, the health. interior material care, like cleaning the seats correctly and effectively. You're prolonging them from getting damaged. Early problem detection. I detect mold so damn much. I see so much mold in these cars. I'm like, hey, I found mold, and I send a video to the customer while I'm detailing it. I'm like, this is gonna be another $100 because I want to spray your entire interior down. Make sure this isn't this is the only spot, and then you're not coming back because you found it in another spot. And then they're like, okay, just when you talk with such like protection and devotion for somebody's car, you'll be light years ahead of any other detail, any other cleaner. Uh, yeah. And now this is for the detailers. This is your meat and potatoes, the business standpoint. Cost control. If you do concentrates, you will increase your profits so much. I mean, let's go into it. Exterior concentrated solution for auto detailing. Whoa, what the heck is that? Gorilla piss. Dude, I didn't even know that's a thing. I'm gonna look this up. Bug tar adhesive remover, remove insects from glass paint. You know what I dislike about companies is when they don't put on water. They don't put dilutions. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Who's the one that does? Let's see here. I don't know if it was chemical guys, 3M. What's that one? JB Auto. JBS. JBS. I think they have some crazy stuff. Um, this is a little goes a long way. These are for like car wash chemical manufacturer, uh, wheel tire, car wash detergents, hyper concentrates. Um, uh, pre-soak, pH booster, pressure soap, high pH wheel and tire, HPC. Um, okay, hold on. This place has to Magic Mango super detergent. So yeah, 1 to 120. So you buy 5 gallons of this, you're at 600 gallons of this soap. So I mean, you're talking 600